Standard apocalyptic narratives often focus on sudden, chaotic explosions, a meteor strike, or a nuclear flash. But Qiyamah, the Islamic end times, follows a meticulously scheduled progression of events. It is a structured timeline that begins with subtle shifts before accelerating into cosmic collapse. Prophet Muhammad explained this pacing through a physical analogy, describing the signs of the end times as beads strung on a string. As long as the string holds, the beads remain in place, but if it breaks, they cascade in a rapid, unstoppable sequence. Humanity currently resides in the era of the minor signs. These manifest through gradual, human-driven social and moral decay. We see social structures unravel, morality erode, and technology begin to amplify our collective flaws. Specific prophecies from the 7th century have already materialized with startling precision. One warning stated that the end would draw near when destitute, barefoot shepherds begin competing to construct towering skyscrapers. Looking at the skyline of the Arabian Peninsula today, that inversion of societal order is a historical fact. The texts list a dozen other ongoing shifts: a widespread loss of trust, the normalization of bloodshed, an explosion of ignorance despite the availability of information, and a psychological phenomenon where time itself feels like it is shrinking, years passing like months, and days passing like hours. Because these changes happen over generations, they are easily dismissed as standard historical cycles. In Islamic theology, however, this era is a grace period. It is a final opportunity for humanity to recognize the drift and course correct before the string finally snaps. When that string finally breaks, the transition into the major signs is jarring. These events defy natural laws and occur in rapid, terrifying succession. As global turmoil reaches its peak, a guided leader known as Imam Mahdi will emerge to unite the believers. His rise triggers the arrival of the Dajjal, the false messiah and the ultimate antagonist of this era. The Dajjal will subject the world to a grueling 40-day global trial. Islamic tradition warns he will use false miracles and weather manipulation to plunge the world into deep deception, rewarding those who follow him and starving those who resist. Just as the believers are besieged, the conflict reaches its turning point. Prophet Isa, known in the West as Jesus, will physically descend from the heavens to aid those who remained steadfast. The prophecy provides a literal geographical anchor for this return. Jesus will arrive at the White Minaret in eastern Damascus, Syria, resting his hands on the wings of 2 angels. He will lead the pursuit of the Dajjal across the region. The chase will culminate at the Gate of Lud, where Jesus will corner the false Messiah and defeat him definitively. This victory is a theological guarantee that divine truth will always overpower the greatest of worldly deceptions. With the Dajjal gone, the earth enters a brief period of peace. But before that peace can fully settle, an ancient barrier will fracture. This unleashes an unstoppable apocalyptic force known as Ya'juj and Ma'juj, Gog and Magog. These forces act as a swarm of massive scale. They will sweep across the landscape, so numerous and voracious that they drink entire lakes dry, consuming every natural resource in their path. Jesus and the believers will be forced to seek refuge on a mountain, unable to fight the swarm through conventional means. They will remain there until direct divine intervention destroys the entire force. This destruction results in a temporary golden era. For a time, the earth will be defined by pure monotheism and absolute justice. Under the guidance of Jesus, humanity experiences a state of widespread prosperity, a divine reward for those who endured the preceding trials. Eventually, that era of peace ends. The universe itself begins to reject its natural laws. 3 massive landslides will swallow the earth in the east, the west, and the Arabian Peninsula, followed by a thick global smoke that engulfs the planet. Out of a fractured earth, the beast, Dabat al-Ard, will emerge, carrying the sacred relics of the prophets, the staff of Moses and the seal of Solomon. The beast's mission is unprecedented. It will speak to humanity and physically mark the face of every human being, creating an undeniable, visible distinction between true believers and those who rejected the truth. This is followed by the most jarring cosmic event, the reversal of Earth's rotation. One morning, the sun will rise from the west. This moment represents a final theological boundary. Once the sun rises in the wrong sky, the door of repentance is permanently shut. No declaration of faith will be accepted once these absolute miracles are witnessed firsthand. With the test of faith concluded, a gentle, pleasant wind will sweep across the earth. It will peacefully take the souls of every remaining person with faith in their heart, leaving only those who lived in total ignorance of the divine. The final earthly terror will be a massive fire erupting from Yemen. This continent-spanning wall of heat will steadily advance, driving the remaining population to a single final gathering place. The physical world reaches its end when the angel Israfil blows the first trumpet. This sound will pulverize the mountains into dust and annihilate all remaining life in the universe. Then a second trumpet blast will sound. Every human being who ever lived will be resurrected from their graves to stand before God for the final reckoning, the Hisab. The meticulous timeline of Qiyamah is a roadmap of divine justice. It suggests that the time to choose faith and righteous action is now, in the era of subtle warnings, long before the sun rises in the wrong sky.